Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk about espresso machines and try to figure out which machine that I'm going to buy for my coffee cart business. As you may have noticed, there are many types of espresso machines being sold out there right now. A lot of options. So how do you know what to buy? Well, to figure out what to buy, I'm going to first decide on how many drinks I plan to serve in a single setting. So what volume of drinks do I want to actually produce? What I mean is, am I going to serve 20 drinks per hour or 100 drinks per hour in a single event? Because you can get amazing espresso out of budget machines with a good grinder, but they likely can't keep up with high demand. And that's because they have small boilers or one boiler. They need time to recharge. And then there's build quality, which is likely lower as you go down in price, which causes problems later. For a coffee cart business, I would say that I want to serve 50 drinks per hour as a minimum. That's the benchmark. I want to be able to serve at least 50 drinks per hour. So I need to buy a machine that's capable of that. The thing to understand is that there's a big difference between home machines and commercial machines. A very popular line of machines, widely available, is from Breville. And I've considered buying one for a very long time. There are many accounts of people making amazing espresso with Breville machines. Especially if you have good beans, that's the most important thing, and a good grinder, a separate grinder, not the built-in grinder. And I for sure think having a Breville is a fantastic way to go if you're just getting into coffee, espresso especially, and yeah, it's cheap and you can get into it very easily. I think doing that is better than doing nothing. But it's important to know that a Breville cannot handle the high demand of a coffee cart business. It just can't. For a coffee cart business, we need commercial grade features and reliability. We need dual boilers because we want to pull shots and steam milk at the same time. We need temperature and pressure stability because we want to pull amazing shots repeatedly and not have to stop. We can't charge for a subpar product, okay? This is a coffee cart, this is a business model. We want to consider what it takes to get the best product time and time again. And as far as build quality goes, I want to consider the amount of metal versus plastic internal components because I'm thinking about whether or not this thing can be repaired. Personally, I want something that can last 10 plus years. And that's, only going to happen if it can be repaired and I take care of it. So, I want to prolong its life. Okay, we know that a commercial machine is what we need. So what about brands? First off, I just want to say how cool it is that there even are brands that feature compact, commercial grade, one group head espresso machines in the first place. Machines that are beautiful as home, pieces, but pull amazing espresso and can be used for a business. Literally you can use it to make money. That's pretty cool. One of the big name brands out there is La Marzocco. You've no doubt heard of or seen them, even if you didn't realize it. There are other great companies as well. Now, there are a lot of options between an $850 Breville and a $6,300 La Marzocco. But again, many of those in between options are only going to have the capacity to be home machines. And by the way, we can get real crazy in price, so $6,300 is far from the top. In terms of La Marzocco, I would consider the Linea Mini R for $6,300 or the GS3 AV for about $8,000. That's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not, but to give you an idea of the higher end, a Slayer Espresso 1 group is around $12,000. Yikes. And then there's Synesso with a model called the ES1, and that's about $9,000. There's the Sanremo U, which is about $7,700. That's featured on Simple Cart Systems website. So they only feature Linea Minis and Sanremo U's, but the Sanremo is more than the Linea Mini, but you can see what it looks like on their website. There's also the Victoria Arduino Eagle One Prima, which is comparative to the Linea Mini in price. And I think it looks really nice, so for what that's worth. And then there's the Rocket R91, and that's similar in price. Rocket has a lot of more budget-friendly options, but they're just not going to be commercial quality. They're not going to have commercial features, let's say. So not as much. This is the one you'd want to kind of be in that commercial grade category. And then there's a very popular, much more budget-friendly option called the La Spaziale Luca A53 Mini. I know you've been waiting for that if you know coffee, and that's around $3,000. Okay, a lot of carts are using these. They're half the price of a Linea Mini. People are switching from Linea Minis to Lucas. That's cool. If you want to save money, go for a Luca. A lot of great machines can do the job. But here's the thing, what about support, right? What happens if your machine breaks? Like, who's going to repair it? What technicians are in your area? In my case, since I live in Fort Wayne and there's a La Marzocco facility here, that would be an example of support. Plus, there's a guy in town who has his own repair shop and has worked for La Marzocco. So that being said, it seems to make sense that I would choose La Marzocco. If I just order something straight off of a website, you know, how long is it going to take to get it repaired? Am I going to have to wait weeks or months, you know, for whatever it is that I bought? With La Marzocco, the potential to have it fixed very quickly and not have to ship it is a big deal. Okay, so La Marzocco, which model would I go with? There's only two, and that I would consider, the Linea Mini R or the GS3 AV. Ultimately, as tempting as an $8,000 GS3 would be, I don't think I'm ready for that level in some respects. I do want to get the best machine possible, but I also can't really justify that price point right now. I want to get into it. I want to do something really great, but there's a certain cap, right? And both machines are known to produce similar results. So it seems like going with the Linea Mini and saving a couple $1,000s is a no-brainer. Some carts use dual Linea Minis, like they had enough demand, they had to buy a second machine. That's a great problem to have. However, they're common. So if you want something with more visual distinction, you may choose something else. Or maybe you like the operational preference of a different machine. Maybe you want the profiles that are available that the San Remo U offers. So there's that, you have to decide. In my specific instance, there are no other carts in this city currently, as of making this video, that use a Linea Mini. So for me, I have a unique opportunity to showcase that machine. So that's cool. Look, at the end of the day, buying a commercial espresso machine is expensive. You also can't really go wrong. A commercial machine is going to pull amazing espresso. It's going to last a very long time if you hold on to it. You can use it as a business if you want. So yeah, it's all a matter of price. Let me know in the comments if you are planning to start a coffee cart or if you have already, and which machine you bought or will buy and why. Let's get a conversation going, and for now, that's it. I'll talk to you soon.